Hi, and welcome to Maximum Rising. My name is Stephanie, and I'm here to support you recovering from religious and emotional trauma. Okay, so um, I am recording this on a Sunday, but by Monday, will be by the when you see this, the sun would have entered Virgo. But before I talk about the sun, I really want to focus on the moon for a second because right now, you may or may not know that we have a daily moon, okay? So there are various phases of the moon. Yes, we have the new moon and the full moon, but we also have the balsamic moon, the gibbous moon, waning, waxing, okay? Right now, we are in the waning period of the moon, meaning that there is less and less and less light, meaning that when you look up at the sky tonight, up into the new moon even, you're not going to see the moon as much. You'll see slivers and different shapes of the moon, but it's slowly disappearing because it's in closer to the sun. So I want to take you on a journey of the daily moon into the new moon. So as of right now, the daily moon is in Gemini. Now, the gibbous is all about how can a person, and I can say this from experience because I was born during the gibbous moon, and it may be helpful for you to figure out by looking at the inference or looking online and kind of getting a bird's eye view, even your birth chart, to kind of see, okay, when was I born? Where was the moon? What phase of the moon was I born in? I'm actually more drawn to the full moon because I was born just before the full moon. Okay. I was born during the waxing period. My partner was actually born during the waning period. So it's interesting, though him and I are both gibbous moon babies. We were both born during the day. He was actually born when it was still dark outside. And he's a Cancer sun, so of course the moon loves him. But I was born in the afternoon. So, and also those of us that have not done our birth charts, play around. If you do not resonate or align with what it's telling you your ascendant is, because if I went exactly to my birth date and I went, and same thing for my client, if she went exactly with her birthday, like the time she was born and the time I was born, we both would have been Sagittarius rising, which neither one of us aligned with because we think before we jump. Sagittarians, they just jump and they think later. Love Sagittarians though, really, really do. And not all Sagittarians are like that because it depends on what their ascendant is. But anyway, back to the moon. So I was born during the gibbous during the waxing period, and the waxing meaning that the moon is getting fuller and fuller and fuller. There's more and more light. Okay, but right now we're in the waning period. So during this waning period, we start to kind of go within. Okay, and the daily moon right now is in Gemini. So the moon travels to each constellation we call zodiac signs. All zodiac signs are really constellations in the sky, all right? So as it travels, so Gemini, Gemini, I think twin flame. Yeah. I think being in your head. Geminis are all about the head, and they don't understand how to connect to the heart. They don't understand what that even means because they're all in the head about the planning and the intellectual, the philosophies of life. And they like to see both sides of it. They like to see, things from reading books and stuff like that. But they also like to see both, which is why, you have that whole thing of they have two faces to them, right? They're also somewhat introverted and somewhat extroverted. I don't know what Gemini that doesn't have either or. They just show more of one side than the other. Okay. So that's a Gemini. They also not only are in the head most of the time, but they're pretty straightforward. And I mean, they're pretty straightforward. They cut to the chase. All the Geminis I know, they will tell you like it is. I mean, and when I say Geminis I know that do this, I mean that they have a lot of planets in Gemini. If you're a Gemini and you're not so straightforward, you have a softness to you. Look at your ascendant sign and look at your moon sign and where all the planets were when you were born at that time. It is very rare to meet a Gemini that's kind of laid back or that has that softness to them. Okay, because they're pretty straightforward and they will tell you like it is. They don't really pay much attention to how you take it because they really don't give a shit. To be quite honest, that's just how they are. Okay, which is why Virgos and Geminis get along. All right. There is a time when we don't, and that's when the Gemini they're kind of like Tauruses. They tend to think they know everything, especially when they're younger. They know everything. You can't tell them anything. They know. And if they make a decision, it has to be their idea. Are they mutable like Virgos? Yes, they are. But they're mutable according to what they want to be mutable in. Okay. Also because they get stuck in their head, of course, there's anxiety from that. Because they have to know. They have to know what's next. They have to know what's going to happen. They don't know how to flow. Okay. Gemini is, I want to say it's an air sign. Yeah, it's an air sign. And air meaning communication. They are, a Gemini that has a lot of planets in Gemini knows how to communicate. If they don't, well, it could be that they're Scorpio rising. It could be that they have Cancer and, or maybe they have a lot of planets in both of those because, yeah, Cancers are all about the feels and Scorpio is all about not saying anything. So, but for a typical Gemini, communication is key. So they're known for communication and Mercury loves them because communication, just like Virgo. Which is why, again, we get along. Okay, so the daily moon. It says the day can seem to go very fast. Because the moon is in the quicksilver sign of Gemini. So this is from Yasmin Bolin. I highly, highly recommend her book, Moonology. She also has a diary that I go by that you can write things in. That way you don't have to keep track of the moon yourself. You can just write what's going on with you that day or keep track of whatever you want to keep track of. This can be a good thing if you're not already overworked, but a tad confusing if you have a lot on your plate. Certainly it's a busy day, right? Because Geminis, they go, go, go. They're all in the head, and after being in the head, they do. They're all about the action. This might sound like a Aries moon day information because Aries are also go, go, go. So are Capricorns, which are earth sign, and so are Leos. Like, I was talking to the DJ that many of you saw me dancing. Her name is LJ, and I was helping her bring stuff in. And I was like, wouldn't hurt to take a deep breath, but she's a Leo. They don't know what that is. And it's the same thing with the Gemini. But it's different. Aries moon days are all about action, while the Gemini moon is more about mental energy. It's still action to me, though, because after you get into your head, you start to do. While the Gemini moon is more about mental energy, talking to lots of people and nonstop moving about. Like I said, action. If you have a presentation to give today, you have the stars, or rather the moon, on your side. Similarly, a Gemini moon day is a great time to hold a social gathering, aka a party, because everyone is going to be extra chatty, which oils the social wheels. So if you're watching this and you're thinking back to Sunday and possibly Monday, because sometimes the moon does stay in a certain constellation for 2 to 3 days. And you were like, man, I couldn't stop talking. I mean, if you haven't noticed, I can't stop talking either. It's the moon being in Gemini right now. So yeah, if you're very chatty, maybe look and see, hey, where's the moon right now? Or if maybe you're not the chatty one, maybe your friend is talking your ear off, and they usually don't do that. Where's the moon right now? Right? Okay, so this is good for parties, dinner parties, socializing, thinking, reading, talking, and generally taking your communication skills for a whirl. This is a good time to, if you have a business, maybe you want to talk to people about that. I've been talking to a lot of people about my YouTube channel, and leading up to this. Maybe you want to start making videos like me. Great time to do that. Maybe you want to reflect, and since it is that gibbous waning period, maybe you're starting to talk before you go within, right? Because the new moon, yeah, it's about planting seeds, but it's also about going in. It's all about the darkness. It's all about that feminine side. Okay. And let's see. Gemini is actually very masculine. So, which goes with that the moon is slowly disappearing, right? It's slowly waning. So the Gemini is that masculine, is that action. It's that let's get shit done, but in a different way, meaning let's sit down and talk about it. Okay. This is not good for meditating, which is why, because I wasn't impressed to do a meditation video. Well, now I know why. This is not the time for meditation. This is not the time for any of that, just because your brain is working overdrive. I mean, now, if you want to stop and take a deep breath and let it go, great. But are you going to be able to really focus right now? Not necessarily. Okay. So, do call up your best friend, your siblings, your parents, anybody that you haven't talked to in a long time. But don't keep gabbing away on social media until you embarrass yourself. Which, yes, some people are known to do that. Okay, so the next thing, and I'm not going to read it all, but the next thing the daily moon would be in leading up to the new moon in Virgo. So the next sign that would be Cancer and Leo. Okay, so Cancer, think mother. Maybe when the moon is in Cancer, the daily moon's in Cancer, you kind of want to take care of yourself and other people, right? Because Cancer is all about others. They're other-centered. They want to take care of you. So maybe you're in that mood that you want to take care of yourself. You want to take care of other people. It's not a selfish time, because Cancers are very selfless. They don't understand the concept of putting themselves first. I know. My partner's a Cancer. And I know plenty of Cancers to know that putting themselves first, including if they're a Cancer rising, is just not their thing. They don't know what that means. So they're busy caring for other people. And there's nothing wrong with that within itself. But when it comes to a point where you're caring for other people to the point where you're exhausted, then it's time to take a step back. Because if you can't take care of yourself and put yourself first, then it's impossible to do that with someone else. But then they're just people, they just don't know or understand what that entails and what that means. So if you're a Cancer moon or ascendant or sun, or you just have a lot of planets in Cancer, think about how your family would feel if you did something for you. Taurus can be very similar. Tauruses have a hard time putting themselves first. Both of them can be people pleasers, but that can be any sign, right? So with Tauruses, it's more of, okay, how can I take care of my family? How can I mother people, right? Because Cancer is the mother. If you're a guy, of course, you're the father. Well, maybe you want to cook. Maybe you want to cook for your family today. Maybe you want to, I'm not saying today as in right now, but when it is the daily moon, maybe you feel like cooking. Maybe you want to do crafts. Maybe you want to do something that is family oriented. Or if you consider your family your family, maybe you want to do something for your friends. Maybe you want to just be in water, because Cancer is a water sign. Cancer is a feminine sign, right? It's all about taking care of other. It's all about putting other people first, being very selfless, very flowing, and just kind of going with the flow. They don't know what's going to happen, but they just want to flow. They just want to enjoy life. They just want to be, right? So Cancer is all about being in that feminine presence, being the water, flowing with that water, and whatever that looks like. Cooking, helping somebody figure something out, maybe helping that person move, maybe helping that person clean their house, maybe taking care. Maybe somebody's sick and you have a Cancer that likes to take care of you. You know, they'll feed you, they'll get you what you need, they'll get you water, you know, they'll clean up after you if you know, happen to be that sick that you vomit, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. And then after you take care of people, however it is that you take care of people and just show them that you care, then we get into Leo, right? So Leo is all about seeing of the self. They want to be seen. When the daily moon is in Leo, great time to start making videos. Great time to maybe watch out for that special someone you've had your eye on. Great time to shake what your mama gave you. Good time to dress to impress. Good time to just have a good time. Go party. Go out with the night with the girls. Go out dancing. Whatever you feel like you need to do. Or maybe you're just attracting people. Maybe people see you differently. People that you've known for years that have never seen, you know, this side of you before. Showing your sexy side, and not in a raunchy way, but whatever's sexy to you, because Leos are also very confident. But Leos also come from the heart. They're not into criticizing. They're not into judging people. But they want to be seen for the lions and the lionesses that they are. They're very great in being in their heart, because Leo does rule the heart. Cancer rules the large and small intestines because of the digestive issues that they have. Gemini is all about the shoulders and arms, right? You know, you're thinking twins. But Leo is all about the heart and the back, right? So being in your heart, coming from the heart when it comes to wanting to do something, just being in that heart space. And I mean, you know, we go back and forth from the feminine to the masculine. So Cancer was feminine, the Leo is masculine. You know, how can you come from the heart? Maybe doing that Superman pose, right? Because Leo's all about being confident. So, you know, if you just stand and just bring your chest out, or even sitting and doing this, just allow your heart to open, right? And if you stay in that stance and after that go and talk to people, like, they feel the confidence. They feel that you're coming from a heart space. Maybe during the daily moon in Leo, having a meditation that I presented, you know, just taking a minute and just being in your heart space, asking your heart, what is it that you need to know? And just taking that moment just to listen to your heart. Right? And just being present. And now that is the time to bring that head aligned with your heart, because Gemini, you know, is all about the head. Cancer is all about the flow. And then Leo is all about the heart. So a good time to align your head with your heart. Meditate, be with your heart, feel your heartbeat, listen to your heart. right? And then, the moon goes into Virgo, right? So, I don't know how long the moon will be in Virgo. I don't know when that will start, but I know that it will peak on the 27th, which is this Friday, which is also several people's birthday weekend, including mine. My birthday's on the 31st. I have a client whose birthday's on the 30th. I have a client I haven't seen in a while. I know her birthday is like the beginning of when the sun enters Virgo. So to all of my Virgos that I work with and my clients, happy birthday. And I hope your next year brings plentiful from you. I know some of you just had a baby. Congratulations. I just want to recognize all my Virgo women and my Virgo guys too that are out there. Some guys I have not seen forever. Like shout outs to everybody that's having a birthday. Love you all, and I see you. And I miss some of you because I don't see you as often. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Okay, what is Virgo all about? So the 22nd of August, since I'm taping, recording this on Sunday, will be tomorrow. So it'll be by the time you see this. So from then on to like mid-September is Virgo season. Okay, so aside from that, we're going to have that new moon in Virgo on the 27th, right? So Virgo, I can tell you from experience, we're going to start with the positive, a Virgo that is grounded, okay? A Virgo that is grounded. So we've gone from being in the heart to let's be grounded. Let's be, Virgo. Virgos are all about serving other people. Virgo for me is in my 10th house. So my 10th house of career is all about service. How do I serve people? Well, creating videos, massage, Reiki and star healing, listening to people as I massage, taking it in, getting to see what people need. How can I support them, support their bodies? Yoga, teaching people how to stretch, teaching people how they can breathe, right? Because I've done several breath work, including in my videos, including just a few seconds ago. That's how I serve. How can I help you? Okay, so that is a ground up Virgo. Or being organized, even if it's organized chaos, it's organization to us. Some of us like to do things in alphabetical order because we have families and it's just easier for us to get in the pantry, take out what we need. Sometimes it's drawing a boundary, right? Saying, up until this point, I can help you, but allowing people to figure things out on their own. That's also a Virgo that is grounded, okay? So we're also all about health too, right? How can I get more healthy? How can I be better, right? So it's all about our health, exercising, working out, stretching, getting massages, stuff like that. So during the new moon in Virgo, it's a great time to take inventory. How are your eating habits? Have you been working out? Have you been drinking enough water? If not, what can you do to improve? Are you having inflammation in your muscles? Well, what are you eating? Are you eating lots of red meat and lots of sugar, even if it's from fruits? If so, maybe you need to maybe I can't talk today, y'all. Maybe take an inventory and step back and think, how can I balance sugar? Maybe I'm not drinking enough water. Maybe I need to cut out red meat. Maybe I need to go on a vegan or vegetarian diet where it's mostly fruits and vegetables and less poultry, less meat. Or maybe you need to cut it out altogether, right? I personally go by a person's blood type. I'm blood type O. So beef and me, it's hit or miss. Same thing with chicken. Same thing with seafood and such. Some vegetables I cannot eat because of the inflammation it causes in my stomach. Like gluten, I can't eat gluten. I rarely eat it, right? Because of the intolerance it causes. So some of us have intolerances to foods. Maybe those things we need to cut out of our diet. And if we're suffering from aches and pains and we have inflammation, we get to step back and take care of ourselves, right? And if we're able to do that, well, we'll be better at our jobs, better as as a person, because we're taking care of ourselves. So what is it that we need to do? What is it that you need to do? What inventory can you take from the last 8 months, including this month, because it is the 8th month? What can you do to improve in that? Maybe cut out dairy, or don't eat as much dairy, or figure out what dairy can you eat or you can't eat. Like, I don't eat a lot of cheddar. I can't do that. I'm more of the white. I can eat Parmesan cheese. I can eat mozzarella cheese. There are certain dairies that I can eat, but there are certain dairies that I cannot eat. How can you serve others? Can you go and volunteer somewhere? Can you help the homeless by buying them something? That's how I celebrate Christmas, is I buy something from the homeless and I say Merry Christmas and I hand it out to them, as many as I can, right? So taking an inventory on your life, on your eating habits, on your exercise habits. Have you gotten enough massages? Have you drunk enough water? Things of that nature. I mentioned be of service and being healthy. So that's basically what she covers in this. So just some questions to think about. How can I serve others? That is a great journaling question. How can I serve others? Okay. Virgo also is about communication, right? Something that I'm consistently working on. Mercury loves Virgo because they're all about communicating. So, how can you communicate better? That's my second question for the new moon. How can you communicate better? Okay. Now, we can't cover the grounded Virgo without covering a Virgo that is not grounded. So a Virgo that is not grounded, very critical, very judgmental of everyone and everything, including themselves. I know I used to be that Virgo. Very hard on themselves, always having to know how things are going to turn out, very uncomfortable without knowing. And it goes back to fear and control. And when we're in that space, we have anxiety. A grounded Virgo is usually on time. A Virgo that is not grounded, they are late and they criticize and they beat themselves up because they are late. Okay? We hate being late. Absolutely, positively hate being late. So, what else is a Virgo that's not grounded? They make you feel like shit. Because we're those kind of people that we like to nitpick everything. And when we're not grounded, that is. And so we are one of the, especially from a woman's point of view, we like to talk about other women. We put other women down. Did you see what she was wearing? Oh my God. Like, how old is she? We do that. And then isn't that sad? That is so sad. I was telling actually a lady that I was dancing with, that how sad it is. She's a Capricorn. But how sad it is that other people look at other people and they just automatically criticize them. And it's mostly women. When I used to work at a massage place in Stafford, that's what guys told me, that You guys aren't trying to necessarily look good for us. Is you're afraid of other women criticizing you because of how you're dressed. So you're trying to look good for other women because you don't want them putting you down. I never really looked at it like that before, but it's true. It's true. So my third question, if you're one of those people that do that, which I used to do, okay, guilty as charged, what can you do? Question, what can I do to bring my sisters up? Right? What can I do to bring my sisters up? And my brothers too. What can we do to lift each other up? What are words that we can say to lift each other up? Now, the way to do this is by thinking positive about yourself, because the only reason why you're talking about someone and gossiping about someone, which yes, I am famous and guilty of doing as well in the past, is because there's something about yourself you don't like. And you see it in someone else, so you're judging them for it. But it all comes back to you. So first, what can you do to lift yourself up? Yes, I know I talk about feeling the feels. So after you feel the feels and what you need to do and you get back in that high vibrational energy, is there something that you need to eat to help you? Why are you depressed? Is it your food intake? Is it your immune system shutting down? There's just so many factors as to why we can be grumpy, in that low frequency, whatever, so to be grounded, to be quite honest, fruits and vegetables do ground you. If you want to be grounded, that is the best way to be grounded. Bright fruits like strawberries, oranges, stuff like that actually can give you a happier demeanor. Okay, I don't know anybody that eats oranges and they're still down. It helps to lift your vibration. Essential oils do the exact same thing. Every time I have a lip balm that was homemade, and every time I put it on, it's wild orange. And when I smell wild orange, like, I'm in a good mood. So what can you do to put yourself in a good mood and then put everybody else in a good mood? And remember, you are what you assimilate, right? So speaking of human design, being a generator, or if you're a projector, whatever you're feeling, you're going to either generate if you're a generator, or you're going to project if you're a projector. All right. So if people who don't know how to separate their energy from yours feel that because they're empathic, then you're bringing a cloud over. Now, I'm not saying, think positive, think positive. I'm not saying all that. I don't want you to put a Band-Aid on what you're feeling in the moment. That's not at all what I'm saying. But what I am saying is during that new moon, right? Because the new moon is black moon. So as you go inward, maybe something to think about, right? Something to think about, lifting yourself up, serving other people, and lifting other people up, saying something that's encouraging. All right. So that is the new moon. And I already kind of covered. So if the Virgo's in certain houses, like for me, it's my 10th, right? So that is my career. I have a service-based career, or a purpose to serve others. Okay. If it's in, look at it. If it's in your first house, maybe that's your ascendant sign. Maybe that's just who you are, right? That's how people look at you. If it's in your second house, well, that's your house of income. Maybe as you make money, you donate that money to serve others, and, so on and so forth, right? So if you like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing new moon in Virgo.